I was doing I guess it's like a productivity check this morning, mixed with some self-love. I'm really big on doing productivity exercises that also allow myself to give myself some grace and to understand that if I am being really hard on myself and I am never good enough for myself, then of course I'm not going to feel good enough for anybody else or my company or anything else I'm trying to achieve. So it is my hopes that I can share this productivity check and self-love exercise with you to help you become a little self-reflective this week. So we are at the end of January. Many of us may have made a long list of goals, maybe not, but inevitably, whether we make a list of goals or not, because of the way that our society is, we often go into a new year thinking about things we want to complete this year and things that we want to give up from the year before. So I have to ask myself on the regular, I have to kind of do, see if my check engine light is on and do a little bit of an inventory check as a former addict and a person in recovery. So I like to ask myself, are there any behaviors that I'm engaging in that I'm having a difficult time quitting? And that's addiction right there. Like, obviously, there's been a lot of different addictions that I've had to overcome, whether it be drug addiction or alcoholism. But for me, it's gone way deeper than just drugs and alcohol. I've had to do a lot of work over the last 4 years and really understand what drove me to those things in the first place. So now I'll do productivity checks just to see, like, are there any goals that an addictive behavior is holding me back from? Now, addictive behavior can be anything from watching too much TV. Like, you told yourself you're not going to watch as much TV and then you find yourself binging a show all day long. Or it could be engaging in a toxic relationship that you know in your heart that relationship is holding you back from your potential. And that's, at the end of the day, that's really what this exercise is for, to see what are you doing to stand in the way of your own potential? What are you in control? I should say, what am I in control of changing? I try my hardest not to say you and to use my I statements, because I never want anybody to feel a sense of shame in these videos that I create. I want to use my own vulnerability and use my own exercises and the things that I do to allow you to process how my thoughts that I ramble out loud may make you feel, and maybe it leads to some realizations and can help with your journey. So what I do is I say, okay, here is a behavior I'm engaging in that I made a goal to not, and I've had a hard time completing that goal. So then I take it a step further and I'm like, okay, so what does this behavior give me the feeling of? How does this behavior make me feel? Is this giving me a false sense of security? Am I engaging in this behavior because it's a deep abandonment wound? Am I engaging in this behavior because I have a fear of not being successful? So especially because I work really hard every single day to be a better leader, and I do have blind spots often that I have to check and say, okay, where is this fear coming from? And what do I get from this feeling? So understanding what I'm chasing, the feeling that I'm chasing, and then taking it one step further and trying to dig a little bit deeper and trying to acknowledge, what am I running from? So I'm chasing a feeling, but what am I running from? What feeling am I running from? Usually the answer for me is facing a feeling that I really don't want to have to process, because it's pain. And feeling, especially for somebody who did drugs and alcohol for such a long time, feeling my feelings is like blah. And it's blah for everyone, okay? I'm not unique, but those feelings they're really pesky, and sometimes I have to remind myself that my thoughts are not me, and my emotions are just something that I feel. So I can really take a step back and look kind of at my behaviors and at myself as an outsider looking in. So that really helps remove me from the emotions and the feelings as I'm trying to work through my list of goals that I didn't complete. Why didn't I complete them? Why am I chasing that feeling? And what am I running from? And then usually once I do that exercise, while giving myself a whole bunch of grace and loving myself, right? Because I am human and I'm trying my best, then it usually leads to creating new goals that are more geared towards self-love and finding a way to get healthier coping mechanisms. So then those goals that are more geared towards self-love and help with work-life balance end up inevitably helping you achieve those original goals that were that you've maybe felt a little held back on. So that is all I have for today. I hope that helps somebody. Like I said, I really try to just share my own vulnerability so others can listen without a guard up, without feeling attacked or without feeling shame. So feel free to message me. Let me know if these videos help, or if they don't, especially if they don't, message me and tell me stop posting these videos. Anyways, you guys have a great week. Bye.